Yes guys, welcome back to a brand new video. We're talking today backswing. The reason for that is, and I'm pointing at you because I know you're not doing it, right? And I see very common mistakes happen in a lot of golfers that are sacrificing control. So the two things that we want to control in our backswing are, number one, keeping control of that club face. That's a pretty big deal on where that ball is going to go. And number two is actually getting enough of a turn. Try these simple steps. So we've moved hole, but this 12 foot optimum hole is equally as hard. So you're gonna see at the end of the video, I've got to thread it through that tiny little gap. Let's see if I can pull it off, but that'll come at the end. We're gonna talk through three simple parts. Number one being a bit of a warm up, get the old bones moving, get some flow to that backswing. Sounds good? Number two is gonna be all about a drill that you can do either at the range or at home. And the final part, and this is the bit that sort of brings it all together really, is how do you take that to the course? So first part of this is address the golf ball, both hands on the club, and then just grip it in your non-glove hand. So my right hand for a right-handed player, your left hand for a left-handed player. I want you just to make some backswings like this with a bit of flow. Now, when I get people to do this, we really start to get the golf swing organised a lot better. Now, because this club head and the golf club is heavier than what it was because it's in one hand, you find you've really got to get the body turning a little bit more. But secondly, I like this for the flow. You can see how I'm actually moving with a little bit of flow. I'm not that robotic Mr. Tin Man robot, because that is not powerful. That is not powerful, let me tell you. So, take you back to the start of this video. I was telling you all about the two things you've got to control: club face and turn. So this drill is great. As I say, you can do this at home and you can do this at the range as well. Grip that golf club right up like I have here. Have a look at that there, I'll come close. So I've taken my normal grip and I'm just literally like 4 or 5 inches short of the club head. I've then got the shaft running up my left hand side, okay? And that's really important that you have it just like this, and you have the club face nice and square as you do it, because remember, those 2 points are, number one, club face control, and number two is you getting this turn. So these are the stages I want you to follow. Now, if you do have some space, I would, at this point, grab a golf club and just do this along with me. If you haven't, watch along, save this for later, and then you can do this as well. So watch this. So our first move, look how square our club face is, brilliant here. We'd be a little bit more like this with driver. First move, keep the golf club on the side of the body. I'm keeping control of my turn. I'm keeping control of my club face. Look how it's actually encouraged me to move this upper half. Stage two, we're going to set this golf club somewhere where the butt of the club points down towards the golf ball. And the final stage is just feel like you turn your hips and your shoulders a little bit more. So this butt of the club points on the ground behind you. Now you'll look at this at the top of the backswing here and realise we've maintained control. Our lead wrist is nice and flat up against our club face. Vital. We've controlled our club face, we've got our turn, we've got our pivot. Let's show you from down the line now. You follow these same steps just here. Address it. 1, 2, 3. Look how my lead wrist is nice and flat, matching my club face, giving you the best chance of swinging this golf club through with a nice square club face. So they're our first two stages. Simple, isn't it? Like, you followed them along really easily and you're feeling a lot better about what you've got to do. Straight away, doing this drill, it's really encouraging you to actually bring in that control, because you're getting some instant feedback. This is what I like for golfers when they come to have lessons with me and they're going to leave, they go away with drills that give them instant feedback. So if I do this wrong, if I get this sort of winding open, well, this has come off the side of my body. If I work just arms, I can clearly see because this club head is so close to me. If I close or open this club face, I'm getting some direct feedback because one, where the shaft is, and two, my hands are so close to this club face. Okay, final stage coming up. So this is what I was meaning with this hole, right? One place you can't go, over here. So you've got to thread it through these bunkers, which is a real tough thing to do. Okay, let's take this into your pre-shot routine. So if you're playing tomorrow, you're playing this weekend coming up, this is something I want you to go with. This is what I think about pre-shot routines. they are the most important thing, and they're your opportunity to sort of tune in to those feelings you get when you're down at the range, when you're absolutely ripping it. Because we have periods, don't we, where we feel, you know what, I've really nailed that, but then we find it so hard to take that to the course. Now, the reason for that is, and I'm pointing at you because I know you're not doing it, the reason for that is we're scared of actually exaggerating these things in our practice swing because we think it's going to make it complicated. I want you to follow this. So, by all means, you could grip it all the way down here if you wanted to, but what I would suggest to you is if you gripped it just sort of halfway down or maybe just at the bottom of your grip. Okay. First practice swing, go through those same sort of phases. End of the club, sort of up against you. Keep it attached, set it, turn it nice and flat. Your first practice swing out on the golf course. You've got a real distinct reminder of those two things you're trying to control in the backswing. Enough turn, that enough depth with those hands, enough pivot, and the second thing is that control of the club face. So now you're into your second practice swing. I want you to lose all that tension, give it 2 taps on the ground, no matter what club it is, and that's your flow. You then can walk into that shot having a clear feeling of what's good, a clear feeling of actually freedom of the shot, so a great blend of them both. And I guarantee you, I know for a fact, a good backswing gives you a much better chance of that club face being nice and square at the top. Think about it. If it's bad up here, I've got to do a load of things to get it back to the ball. If it's pretty decent up here, I've got a much better chance of it being relatively square at impact, and that's where we want it to be. Okay, here we go. Hold your breath. This is that tight tee shot. Let's see if we can hit the fairway. Oh, we will have that all day. Yo, I'm absolutely over the moon with that. That was a right knuckleball. And just to remind you, the review of this Cobra 2022 model, the LTD XLS, up against my Rad Speed of last year review is going to be up this week. Review, comparison, test, which one comes out on top. Let's see in those comments now which one you think is going to come out on top. I'm excited. I've genuinely not actually done the video yet, so I can't tell you, give you any teasers. It will be being filmed as you're probably watching this right now. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Please do drop it a subscribe because we're on our road to 150k. And I'd love for you to join this team. So hit that big red subscribe button. It's free and we're here every day.